I mean, you do have to be careful. I think Rubik has like a 30-something% win rate currently. It's not great. I believe that's only for, yeah, I believe it is. I know Capitalist was telling us this on the desk. I think it might just be for the CIS region. It could also be for the EU region as well. But we haven't seen many successful Rubiks, unfortunately. And, you know, the idea of anything you can do, I can do better is always nice. But
30 seconds to
he hasn't really shown that recently, especially when we see it picked up against, like, the Earthshaker.
I would be very curious what his win rate was against Earthshakers and not against Earthshakers, if that differentiates it at all. But 30% is pretty bad. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like a Rubik feels good, but he doesn't quite win games like other 4 positions do, kind of thing. Like they said on the panel, the other, especially BSJ, the thing to point out is how good is Lycan going to do this game? As an offlaner, it can kind of struggle. Generally, Lycan is felt a little bit inadequate. He has a high pub win rate, but in pro games, it's definitely different. In some matches, they just kind of ignore him. So can he have a good game as well? Against Troll, not a great matchup. He'll just use Warlane Axes, that kind of thing. And actually, it looks like they're committing Immersion to the safe lane with the Earthshaker, so they're not going to put him in the 4. They'll put Seneko in the off lane to help offset Team Unique's safe lane, the Disruptor and the Drow Ranger.
Makes sense. You know, if we've got the double ranged, it's a little bit difficult to get much done otherwise there. So being able to trade Harass always pretty nice. Of course, Disruptor having a very high, what is it, the DOT there for the first point in the Thunderstrike can be problematic. And he also has a pretty far attack range too, if I recall correctly.
Yep, you're 625. It's definitely really solid. It'll help offset things with Seneko, but once creeps spawn, if Seneko can get a decent creep, it'll be a little bit different here. Seneko's kind of low, actually. He could die. He does have Fairy Fire, but...
Nice.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's going to be enough here. They get the first blood, though, and he does manage to stay alive. Well done.
He didn't salve himself, and I believe Slayer did, so he just really pushed the limit there. Yeah. But once again, Tide is like the best offlaner for killing supports right now at level 1 with Gush. Gush is one of the best level 1 abilities. 110 damage, -4 armor, plus the slow. It's so good for getting these early kills.
They're definitely flaunting the fact that they know how to deal with these heroes, and they know their heroes' limits. So, nice start here going over to the side of ASM Monaco Gambit. Surprised you haven't tried to come up with something cheeky to shorten that name. I know how much you hate the teams that have way too many syllables to them.
Hey, this is sponsor related. I don't blame them. If they make something like ridiculous, yeah, I'm mad, but it's for good reason here. Slayer taking a ton of damage.
Never forget business associates. But yeah, Slayer, he's trying to run away here. Looks like he's going to be fine. But again, a lot of harass coming out.
I like how Seneko did that. Like, he didn't just, like, let him come back to lane and be like, hey, I've got a Hellbear. He did a gank, basically. He ganked the support. And as a result, Slayer doesn't have a salve. He's low HP and he can't help out as much.
Yeah. I mean, they're putting out a decent amount of damage over onto Afterlife.
Absolutely. Went for a Kraken Shell level 2, knowing that he's not going to be able to get an Anchor Smash range. You might as well just decrease the amount of damage he takes here in this matchup. So things going fine for him, but his last hits will probably be a little bit lower than we normally see on Tide because of this.
A little bit more harass here over onto Seneko. Looks like he's going to be all right, though.
Doing a great job pressuring this lane, the Drow. Back in the safe lane here for ASM Gambit. Trolls at 13-4, up against Lycan's 8-1, so they are doing better against the offlane Lycan right now, but just be a temporary thing, we'll see.
I mean, is that also, we talked about this in our earlier game, right? The fact that you see something getting played so many times because it's popular, and then people just figure out how to play against it.
Yeah, it's a little different for offlane Lycan, just because it's less common, but yeah,
it feels fairly common, though. I don't know, I feel like we've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, but it's not like Nyx every game kind of thing is my point.
Fair. So
it's more about like being ready to how he hits his timings, when he comes ganking, how effective he is damage-wise, and dealing with that in that way. Merchant seems to be doing a great job on the Earthshaker though. Mid pressure on Puck. He does end up getting the Jingu proc. No phase shift there for Puck, so that was going to happen.
Yeah, he's been waiting pretty patiently, but both of them sitting a bit low. 23-2 over on the Puck, and 19-2 over on the Monkey King. So pretty close here. Do have the 4-minute rooms coming up, and you can see some of the supports making their way over, trying to make sure that they can protect and perhaps secure these runes. No bottle on puck yet, though, so probably not the highest of priorities. But there is a haste rune over in the bottom spot. It's going to get picked up by Bignum, and he's just going to motor his way back over to the bottom lane.
It'll just saves him a little bit of time. It'll be fine, but no huge advantage here. Drow's currently sitting 16-2, by the way, so not last hitting nearly as good as the Troll Warlord is, but still, considering that Tide's farm is a little bit weaker than normal, this will be sitting pretty good. Tide finished a Bracer. He's going Earn now. Give him that passive mana regen, a little bit of armor, all those really solid stats. Help solidify him here.
We do have... Creep's just about to go down, actually, here. Throws out the net, though. Good efficiency coming out from Sneko. Little skelly men.
Skeletons do not feel like Wraith King skeletons, I gotta say.
No, those are special skeletons. Those are skeletons that have pledged themselves to the one true king. These are just scrub skeletons, dude.
That's true. Dead trolls or something. Not as effective. Bounty runes coming up here. Slayer's going to be a little bit late, so should be at least 2 bounty runes for each team.
Seems to be the case, and Puck would love to probably get a bottle refill here. Still hanging out, though, in this mid lane. Just going to force it forward for the max efficiency.
A pretty darn close game, I gotta say. Ghost 6 last hits about the same as Tides. Both carries, except I guess Drow has a lot less last hits than the Troll does by about 10 here, but everything else going about equal net worth in the middle here.
Immersion.
Pressuring.
Yeah, he's just chasing after Ghost Stick here. I'm not sure is oh yeah, they're really hard committing on this. Whirling Axes coming out. They just want to slow down Ghost Stick here a little bit more. Couple more hits should be able to do the trick here. Can they get it in time to look at Immersion? He's trying to just go and cut him off, and it doesn't matter. Down goes the Lycan. Bit of movement also in the mid lane, as no one probably went for a little bit of a dive. We can see that he already used that Dream Coil, but he's just going to pop forward out of that kinetic field. Easy peasy. So he's got Immersion nearby, and he's throwing out the taunts here. Bignum's still chasing as well. These supports are very interactive here over in this mid lane. They go forward, trying to make the jump over here onto Pikachu. They don't have the Dream Coil anymore. Should be able to stun him up, though. They have the silence, and they have a lot of damage coming out, so no one will get the kill. He is going to fall to Slayer, though, and now Immersion not looking too healthy himself. Ooh, he's sitting at 12 hit points. They just don't have it. I don't think Bignum can chase him fast enough.
He's way too fast too. Immersion's doing such a good job. I mean, he started the safe lane with the base, he got that fast boot, and then with that level 3, they're able to punish the Lycan once he got separated from his tower. So really nice rotation to get that kill. It got Puck the Arcane Rune. That Arcane Rune helped them kill the Monkey King. Everything kind of falling in place for ESL Gambit here. Afterlife picking up 6. In the off lane too, he's got boots plus the Earn now. He hit 6 before the Drow does, though Drow is close. And at this point, it's really scary for Drow to play the game, because if Tide is up here, you can't really zone him from the lane, but he can ravage you in that there's no one rotating after his respawn, well read by Palantimos, but now's the part of the game where you're kind of forced into jungling, and catching up on Drow in this way doesn't feel that amazing, frankly. You're just going to farm, you'll farm at a decent pace, but you just always kind of feel vulnerable, and it, like losing your tower this early just doesn't feel good for Unique's ability to pressure the game.
I mean, at least on the bright side, you don't have to worry about something like a Nyx this game, right? Because she's definitely going to have just someone tailing her the entire time otherwise. But the pressure's on, for sure. And a lot of eyes are being placed over on this Lycan if he's going to be able to make those moves around the map. That's going to allow Palantimos to do what he needs to do. And they do have a gank, though, over onto the bottom lane. But where's your stuns?
That's it. That's offlane Lycan. He's not 6 yet, so can't go for the big dive. Dry Ranger picked up 6 with marksmanship, and she will try to pressure the tower, but in the meantime, ESL Gambit already set up for their next push, which is going to be on the mid tower, and it is way more scary coming from a Tide Ravage going under tower, and they picked up some ice armor on the Ogre Frostmage, which is going to make this tower pressure even easier.
Yeah, you can see that the Monkey King absolutely wants nothing to do with it. The bottom tower does go down, though, so they have equalized some of that tower pressure, but I don't know about this, Bignum. You need to be very careful, my friend. There are a lot of heroes here. They are very strong at this time. Immersion, sweeping around. He's gonna get spotted here by Sneko. They'll throw out the fissure, cut him off from his escape, the silence. They just a couple more hits, and it's gonna be Afterlife who gets it.
They slowed it down a bit, but tower is gonna fall now. Just right-click it. So not terrible for Unique, but it's not looking great. Losing the tower there. Now the whole map is open up, and because they have these heroes that do not like getting ran at, it's going to be easier for ESL Gambit to do that as they move into the jungle. Disruptor's desperately trying to pick up 6 on the top lane here. Just ticked over into level 5, so he's got a little bit of catch-up to do. But here's the pressure.
Nice spot.
Placed.
Question is, do they do anything about it, or they Seems like they're just going to allow him to spend some time, although no one makes his rotation here. He's going to take this pseudo stack. In some ways, I feel like the Ravage is just such a stronger threat when it's not used. Okay, oh, I don't know about that, Pikachu. Oh, the gang squad was waiting for you. As, yep, he's still alive, still managing for a little bit longer, but Afterlife will collect himself another kill.
Yeah, this is the upside to picking a typical offlane hero. Your teamfight contribution is going to be way stronger. And now that he's got a broom handle and phase boots, he just picked up like 7 armor here. Very effective, obviously, against the right click of the enemy team. Both Drow Ranger, who normally is going to ignore armor with marksmanship procs, he's got all this armor on top of his hero, plus Kraken Shell. Good luck killing Tide here. He's just going to stand on the enemy side of the map for the rest of the game, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we've seen this too, and I think it was S4 who was playing the Tide Hunter. He just got to a point where they couldn't kill him, and they eventually had to just ignore him completely because he was just too tanky and they didn't have enough damage.
One upside, though, is they do have Static Storm. It's one of the classic counters to Tide because you can guarantee that he's silenced no matter what for that 5 seconds. So if they can keep him silenced, they can kill him. But I'm thinking, like, it's got to be like Monkey King ulti with Static Storm on top of it. It's a lot of resources to kill this guy. They just don't have that much burst damage here. And in the meantime, Drow's just been sitting jungling Ancients. So, like, yeah, Drow had an okay time against the Tide, but she didn't own the lane. They didn't kill him. They didn't force him out of it. So now it's just going to feel like Drow catching up, and they already have a weird draft because of the offlane Lycan. So they got to start winning some fights right now, or things are going to get ugly fast.
Well, it feels like they're noticing that they have to move around, they have to put some pressure down, so they've all smoked up over on the side of Unique, except for that Monkey King, and they're on the hunt. They are going to run into Afterlife here, so they'll open up with the Kinetic Field, and they'll get the silence off as well that you threw him with all these summons. They'll throw out that Boundless. He's still alive, though. It's taking quite a while. He does get glimpsed back. Eventually, though, he will fall. So that pressure now removed off the map. They can go and push the mid tower. But have to be careful. He's going to be up very, very fast as no one already teleporting back into this mid lane.
There's a lot of resources there. Luckily, having Drow with that heavy right click made a big difference. They were able to kill him, but it also took Lycan ulti. And now with that being down, going to see ASM Gambit respawn and go for a fight.
Yeah, and they're just going to punish the Rubik from being over here. Nice stun coming out, not going to be able to go and escape. One more click coming out from no one will ensure that Rubik goes down.
Some damage on the puck, at least.
And
but they're instantly going to smoke. Yeah. They've got Ravage. There's no Lycan ulti. They get lucky, they'll find the Drow Ranger here, but maybe they're aiming for Lycan instead on the opposite side of the map. He's almost got his Necro 3 finished.
That seems like that's the play. Ghostic realizing, though, hey, I haven't seen people on the map in a little bit. Maybe I should hide. So no one will show himself over in the triangle. Is Ghostic going to fall for the bait, though? Oh, yes, he immediately gets spotted out. The pincer comes out. They'll go. They'll stun him up. There's no teleporting out for you, Ghostic. Another kill here for this Tide Hunter. And he's going for the summons next.
Yeah, it's really hard to how to balance that. Like, he obviously recognized that things were threatening and things were scary, but he just, I don't know, expected them to go somewhere else instead, maybe into his jungle, something. But using smokes like that is perfect. You get the instant tell when you're close to him. Even if he hadn't poked out, I think they still had a good chance of finding him.
I think part of that was because no one showed himself right over in the triangle. It was over. Oh, Palantimos needs to be careful here. Throwing out a fissure. They do have no one nearby. They have Dream Coil available if they want to go in on it, but looks like they're going to back off. Pikachu is standing up in the trees, waiting to counter-initiate if necessary. So how do you get your hands on this little puck?
Got to go on the enemy side of the map, and you got to initiate first, and ideally not have a fissure.
It's a lot
Grab him with Rubik Lift, you can toss back into him for sure with Static Storm. They can catch him, but
yeah, but then you have to worry about the Tide Hunter.
If he's there,
and the Earthshaker.
Yeah. There's problems with this for sure.
That's putting it mildly, I feel.
It is a little. He's almost got Blink Dagger himself. He's about 300 gold away from that on Tide. So in a very tanky position. Battle Fury's been up on Troll for a bit here. He's just finished his Band of Elven Skin for his SNY, so he's farming excellent this game. Picked up health talent, so he's a little bit less burstable, and basically as long as his team keeps pressuring, he should outfarm the enemy lineup, unless he gets ganked like this consistently. Here's the scan. Is it gonna... Oh, it's a dire scan, sorry. Oh, Emergent might break it, though.
It's Emergent. Well, I mean, when you see all of these creeps running at you, I'm pretty sure you realize that there's something coming. Turn around, doesn't quite manage to go and land that fissure right away, but Immediately, the glimpse back here from Slayer. He wants nothing to do with this. You have the Stolen Fissure over on the Rubik. That's pretty nice here. Slayer, though, is now left over here in the corner. He will go down. No one on the back end. Gets the Dream Coil off over onto 2. They'll turn around. They'll get the kill on Big and follow up with the Ravage as they'll go and just put as much damage as they can. They'll take down Pikachu. Ghostic now running for his life. And now Palantimos, they just don't have anything to cancel that TP, so he is going to be fortunate to walk away from that.
Yeah, Pikachu having one of those moments where he threw the stun, Puck anticipated this, dodges it, and then he just starts channeling his Boundless Primal Spring, and he's like, can I just hold this forever and never go in? He jumps in and is like, run for your life, and it just wasn't enough. Way too much to disable that
there. Oof.
They got Earthshaker at least with the summons, but there wasn't a good option for Disruptor to drop his ulti. He'd used a lot of his skills already, so it was just a fight not likely to be won, and Pikachu probably really regrets going in.
There's just so many people that Static Storm actually has to catch. It's a lot of pressure on Slayer for sure. And just the positioning is so much easier on the side of AS Monaco Gambit, so.
But ultimately, it was Immersion playing really well, right? Like Tide was, the Troll was sitting there hitting creeps. Immersion gets in the way, he breaks the smoke, and as a result, they get a good fight. So if he doesn't make that play, that's probably Troll getting blown up with a Static Storm and everybody on Unique escaping afterwards. So just nice play by Immersion.
Yeah, he's played very, very well this game.
Yes.
It's been very impressive with the way that he's positioned himself. In fact,
He doesn't even have Blink yet, but he's actually felt like a huge impact. Popped the smoke on the Necro units. That revealed the gank was coming. Disruptor left for dead here. They get a little damage in, but Pikachu's like, uh-oh, this isn't going to go well. Instantly gets ravaged. Instant Troll ulti. No way he survives that fight. There's no way he would have gotten his ulti off. There's not a good solution there.
Definitely a rough fight for the side of Unique. But not out of it yet. Although with that Blink Dagger pickup, that's going to make things even more difficult for them.
Yeah, on the bright side, Palantimos has not died yet. He's 1-0-0. However, his last hits are not that incredible. He's only got, what, 800 or 80, sorry? 80 last hits. He's about 3,000 gold behind where Troll is right now. It's only a matter of time till Troll becomes a monster. Drow's not going to be able to deal with this.
We get another Blink Dagger picked up too for the Tidehunter. So we now have so much team fight potential coming out from the side of Gambit. It is very, very scary indeed for Unique. So even though we're not so scared of that Troll just yet, although I think you still should honestly be afraid of it, everyone else is just growing in power and strength here on the side of Gambit.
They really are. They got all their timings.
There's the smoke. Blink Daggers are up, so I would not be surprised to see them try to make some plays. And I like the way the two of them are playing together here.
Oh, the Earthshaker and the Tide, yeah.
Yeah, because you know that they're going to be able to follow each other up.
Oh, did you see this? He's hiding his courier. He's just like leaving. He doesn't want to reveal that he has Blink, so he's just leaving it nearby. That way,
cool.
if there is a fight, he can bring it back and reveal a very nice Ravage in the enemy face.
They've got to be suspecting it, though, either way, right?
Probably, yeah.
There's no way that they don't suspect it. Afterlife's 4, 1, and 2 right now. He's, yeah, like you said, doesn't have any big boy items. So probably like, where the heck is his gold?
And he's queuing up what he wants to buy next, which is Yule Scepter, a great option if you're trying to deal with the one threat, which is Static Storm. He's going to be able to remove that, or at least like protect himself for 2.5 seconds if he does ever get caught.
All right, here we go. Move is on. I think the smoke broke on no one, perhaps.
On the Disruptor. Fire wards to spot these.
Have to be really careful going up into that area. It's like they're going to back off, though, on the side of Gambit, so.
They did spot the ward, yeah. He spots that they had a sentry and an observer up there, and he gets out. He knows that he's going to get initiated on if he sticks. But at least that lets them know that they have a ward up there and that they're going to have to avoid that position or engage later together to go deward it. So great warding considering what's happening in this game state. They know they're losing, but they've got observer wards in great places that are going to help spot out these smokes, because vision plus a smoke breaker on a support is basically all you need to avoid a dangerous team fight, and it's buying them some time to pick up items. I don't know if that's necessarily going to win them the game, but it helps them make better choices and better engagements, which is better than just getting fought into and dying.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're behind, do everything in your power to be able to figure out, you know, what's happening on the map. And we do have a smoke coming out from Unique here, so perhaps they can make something happen, but they're already firmly in position around this pit. They've got a double damage over on their Troll. So Nope, not going to be able to make anything happen here. And if I were them, I think they probably just want to back off. Although it feels like they want to fight. All right, Lycan rolling up here. Fall with the Boundless, just gonna pop away, follow up with a beautiful Ravage from Afterlife and the Echo Slam coming in hot. Slayer just gets obliterated. Ghost Stick also goes down. Yules is gonna get used over here on the side, fromming out from Big Thumb. It does manage to turn it back around over onto Immersion. It's a nice little play there, but still gonna go down to no one.
That's a dead hero at least. They got one. I mean, it was kind of a good attempt to go for the kill, but it was in a weird place, right? He was halfway up the river. They couldn't follow up super easily, and at this point, telekinesis stun duration is really low, only 0.8 seconds. So they put some disable on him, but there's not going to be a follow-up. They could have maybe gusted him, but he's got Yules to protect himself anyways. Like, they had to follow it up with Static Storm, pretty much. But the Great Ravage interrupted Disruptor. He was halfway through doing his combo with Kinetic Field Static Storm. It got interrupted. He didn't get a chance to cast his spells, and there's the first big fight for Unique, and now ASM Gambit's blowing him out of the water. They've got 3k net worth from this and even more map control. I wouldn't be surprised if we see these sentries or these observer wards get dewarded as well.
I mean, the one thing I will say that's going over to the side of Unique, and T-Gov actually mentioned this over in the panel, right? They've already used everything they had pretty much in their arsenal, right? So maybe you can try to make a play. You can try to go and get a pick off on someone because you don't have to worry about that Ravage. You don't have to worry about that Echo Slam. Is that a possibility?
It is, I guess,
It's
but
tough,
they have a net worth
but-
advantage and they have an Aegis, which kind of offsets it, so makes it very difficult.
Ooh. Ooh, Palantimos. Oh, the blink forward from Afterlife plus the fissure. The slow with the axes. This is looking like a dead Drow Ranger.
Just disappointing how much, like, it's just one of those moments with a Drow that far behind. She's not that she's, like, insanely far behind, but most carries would be able to do something here. But with a fissure, Troll easily runs her down. She has no chance of killing him. The issue with Drow is for the reason you don't pick her typically, unless you get ahead and then use it to pressure towers in a really strong way. Like, she just does not feel good as a carry.
Well, the buildings are going down now here in the base at 21 minutes in. BKB does get picked up, though, for this Monkey King, so Ghost Stick finding a pick here. But towers are going down, racks are falling.
I mean, they could maybe glimpse somebody back here. There's no BKB on Troll, so they could pull him back, but he's just playing it really slow.
It's got an Aegis, though. I don't think you want that.
If you solo and you kill Aegis and disengage and they all run away, it's fine, but yeah. Not a great circumstance to be in. A Tidehunter going for Solar Crest, that he can just Solar Crest his Troll. They're just going to use Troll as the sieger right now, and they're going to go straight down and take towers and probably attempt second racks right now. They know they have this huge advantage against their opponents. As long as they don't all get Static Stormed, like how does Unique fight into this? It's really hard. They're going to try to break smokes. Puck is well positioned for that.
Yes, and there's a BKB picked up on Troll, so if it wasn't difficult enough here to take this guy down, he's got Aegis, he's got a BKB. And look at Immersion and Owen. They are on the hunt. The Fissure, casual Fissure's just going to get tossed out here. Nothing too wild, but just going to poke around with the waves, and there's a Troll at your door. And
Yep,
he doesn't need an
they don't
invite to go in.
Like, can knock out in the smoke, though. This could be big.
Look at
So
the way
one of
they're
his
positioned,
necros
though,
is
Perch.
visible. Trying to break the smokes. They know what's coming.
They know. Yeah, Slayer walking
There it
into
is.
no one immediately. Look at that damage.
God.
Boom, down he goes. Snako tossing out that impetus. Does manage to land over onto Pikachu. Dream Coil's going to get used over on the Rubik. The roll up here, though. Looks like Pikachu will go. He'll drop that ultimate. That's going to be the Aegis down. Troll's coming back up, though, and he's got a BKB. Good Static Storm, though, coming out from this Disruptor. But they have the Yules, and there's the Ravage onto the back line, plus the Echo Slam. As they take down Pikachu, they take down Palantimos, and they just call the GG. They have been just hit so hard here, Purge. They just got knocked out of the game.
Yeah, no BKB in time for Monkey King, but realistically, they silenced the Troll, but good luck there, guys.